Hey there, I forgot to add myself to the stream. Hope you guys are doing well. It's our Saturday afternoon stream. Typically, if you're new around here, our Saturday afternoon streams, which we don't do them every Saturday, but when there's a big case going on, like in the case of Kiely Rodni, we certainly do cover them. And it's more chill, where it's like a more relaxed time for us. So it's going to be a little bit more of a relaxed stream, probably some open panel, that kind of a thing before too long. And just really looking forward to it. I did do a stream yesterday. I ended up moving it to members only. If you're a part of the members only, you'll probably see why I moved it to members only. So yesterday ended up just being a rough day all the way go around for me, but it's all right. I'm here on a Saturday with you, my people, and excited to be able to have a great conversation today about Kiely Rodni facts review. And there's just so much about this case that continues to blow my mind. And I asked the question in the poll, and I hope you guys have had an opportunity to answer it. But I asked the question: do you think that this is a case of accident or foul play? And I was in the accident camp. I was like, imagine this big train whistle that I have. Imagine that this is a stake. I put this stake in the ground pretty heavily, saying that it's an accident. After watching that Adventures with Purpose video, I'm swinging to foul play. I'm swinging. I'm not totally there because there's always anomalies and things that can happen, but I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking, wow, wow, wooza, folks. This is looking to be, in my opinion, likely foul play. And we'll talk through some of those reasons. And there's several other channels and things like that has done some interviews and talked with some of the Adventures with Purpose people and talked about it. Adventures with Purpose has now made their video available for the public. It's been a couple days, so I feel like it would be okay for us to play snippets and parts of that video to talk about it. And I know other channels have done that, whatever, I get it, but we're going to also do that and sort of dive into it. So my plan is to sort of dive into some different parts of the Adventures with Purpose video. Let's talk about it. I want to hear your thoughts. And then from there, what we'll end up doing, and I think this is going to be an important distinction, but from there, what we'll end up doing is listening to some snippets from Adventures with Purpose interview, and then maybe open it up, open panel. I've never really done that. I always do one person at a time. So I might do a panel. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions that I have, and I have literally been taking lots of notes, looking through my notes now, just seeing what questions do we need to have continued to be answered. One question nobody's asked is, what position was the driver's seat in? Big question I have. What do you guys think? Have you guys heard that? Has anybody heard that at all? What position was the driver's seat in? I'd love to know. Hey, Avery, welcome back to the Feller fam. It'd be nice to have a lot of people join the Feller fam today. The more the merrier. I think if we get 20 more people, then we get another emoji. So I love our emojis, and I got some ideas about an emoji that we could have. I'm thinking maybe turn one of these paintings into an emoji. By the way, Dove painting is sold. Or for donations, not really sold. So every painting's gone except for the lion one. I'm going to paint a lamb soon. So then the lion and the lamb, people might want to get both of those. I don't know. But the lion and the lamb. No, a great, yeah. Sorry, back on subject. I get so distracted sometimes. A great question that no one has answered yet. What position was the driver's seat in? Haven't heard anybody answer it yet. So let's get into it. I want to start on going through the Adventures with Purpose video, and then in particular, I want to analyze what this guy is saying.
So that's how she.
This interview here. They go to Reno, Nevada, to this Best Buy, which I've been to that Best Buy before, and while they're there, a guy who knows who Adventures with Purpose is sort of like shows up and gives them some information. They interview the guy. They put snippets of that interview on this video, but they're saying that's only 10% of it. There's 90% more of information that hasn't been given.
By after picking up some supplies here in Reno, Nevada. We're on our way to work the Kiely Rodni case just down the street in Truckee, California. And Nick, a longtime supporter, fan of ours, appreciate you for coming up to us, possibly has some information in regards to the Kiely Rodni case. So why don't you explain a little bit about what you may have run into?
So my name is Nick. I work at an emergency roadside assistance program. I got a call up in Truckee, Boca, for a battery call. So
You said, please don't allow Jim Terry to bash Adventures with Purpose, brother. I'm not in charge of Jim Terry. I can't control what he does. Sometimes people think I am in charge of Jim Terry, or things that Jim Terry says are me. That's not the case at all. So he did call in yesterday, gave some thoughts on Adventures with Purpose on that, and that was that. But I don't certainly endorse it. But that's one thing that happens on the show, is like people call in and share their opinions. That's what happens here.
So pretty much that means that the vehicle can't start. So I went en route up there, found the vehicle. At the time, I didn't realize that this was a situation until later on. But
Let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
You said you went to Boca.
yes, sir.
So over near Boca Lake.
Yes, sir.
So not Prosser Lake, Prosser Creek Lake.
It's right by Crosser Creek.
Yeah, so just north. So you went to Boca.
At first, when I went there, I realized that
Some things that I want you to be listening for, and I heard this in an interview that Doug gave, and I'll play part of that interview with Doug in a second. But here's some things that I want you to see and think about. Number one, is the girl that he's talking about Kiely? So is the girl Kiely? Number two, is the guy Jagger? I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. Number three, is it even Kylie's car? Number four, what day was the tow truck driver there? In this section, I have more questions. In the next section, I want to talk about and go through.
after my test that everything was working great on the vehicle. At that point in time, I did notice that she was very hesitant and very skeptical on everything that was going on. She was asking me really weird questions, in the sense of, how do you put on your seatbelt correctly? And okay, and she asked me to show her on how to connect it to her actual belt. After that, she was stating on how she was there all night and she couldn't get her vehicle started due to the fact that now we both realized it was in neutral. She was wearing a sweatshirt, so it looked like she has been there for quite a while.
What color was the sweatshirt?
It was a gray sweatshirt.
Gray sweatshirt. Was it dark gray or light gray?
It was light gray.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, there was a guy there that was with her at time being. He was wearing a black San Francisco flat top ball cap facing forwards, brown hair that's sticking out.
Guys, understand a couple of things. One, Jagger has already been on the TV at this point of this interview wearing that hat. Just keep that in mind. I'm not saying that this tow truck driver is not legitimate or anything like that, but keep in mind, everybody's like, Jagger has that hat, that's his hair, whatever. Number one, Jagger's been on Reno News wearing that hat, doing interviews. So just keep that in mind. There's a possibility that you saw somebody on an interview and then describe them. Number two, I grew up in Southeast Missouri. Everybody was a Cardinal fan there. Everybody that I knew had a St. Louis Cardinal hat. So they're living in an area where a lot of people support San Francisco Giants. So a lot of people are wearing San Francisco hats there. It just is what it is. So it's it's not that if he was wearing a St. Louis Cardinal hat, that'd be one thing. You know what I mean? If he was wearing an Arizona Diamondback hat, that'd be very unique in that area probably. If he wore a Texas Ranger hat, that'd be very unique. The fact that he's wearing a hat of San Francisco in an area where everybody roots for San Francisco, it's just not that surprising to me. Whoever the person is.
A little bit on the sides. It was kind of they were both kind of at unease is what it looked like for me, like as if either they had a crazy night or a crazy day, or there's something going on I couldn't know, and at the time I didn't realize what was going on. But other than that, he was I mean, a thinner built guy is the best way I could put it, with a bro tank, and it was white bro tank. He had some freckles on his.
What's a white bro tank? I'm gonna type that in, white bro tank. Oh, okay. I found out what that was by Googling it. I'm like, I don't even know what a white bro tank is. Some freckles. Lots of people have freckles. I don't really have I have a freckle on my finger. You guys can see it. I don't have that many freckles, but a lot of people have freckles on their face. But I mean, I don't know if Jagger does. People keep trying to say that that person's Jagger. I just don't think that it is Jagger. I've never thought it was Jagger. You guys are, some of you, not all of you, but some of you that are involved in this case have put an indictment on young people that do not deserve an indictment. You've went after young people in a way that you shouldn't.
His face, like, or maybe it was like acne or whatnot, but it was on both sides of his face. He was also.
It was either freckles or acne. He couldn't tell.
A little bit like shorter than me, so I'm 6'3".
In hindsight, you're realizing all of this. When do you think that this took place? Was it before, during the day, after she disappeared?
To be honest with you, it's either right after she disappeared or right before she disappeared.
Right after she disappeared or right before? Guys, that is not, in my opinion, conclusive enough to say that this is the day after. This guy sounds like he doesn't know when it was. The reason that they went ahead and painted in this situation and said allegedly Nick's claims to have seen Kiely the day after is because apparently when this situation happened with all of this, he pulled over, he called his girlfriend and he said this was super weird, whatever happened. And she was like, I'll never forget it. It was my dad's birthday. And so she remembers it because of that reason. So I don't know. I mean, obviously the tow truck company that has access to all of his footage knows exactly what day and time it was. They also know if it was exactly Kiely's car, and they also know if it was exactly the people that were with Kiely. If it was Kiely and Jagger or Kiely and somebody else or two people that were not even them, like they know all of that. But it's compelling. What they're saying is compelling. However, I'm trusting the integrity of Doug from this video. That's what I'm doing. We have to trust Doug's integrity. I also like the fact that they did put this in there because a major point of question and contention that we've had on this channel for a while now is, and I think it's an important distinction and question to have, but a conversation and question that we'd had for a while now about this whole situation. Is why did they search Boca first? So why were they searching Boca first? And so they had initially put, we had a tip. And like the assumption was that tip came from law enforcement. That was not true. Then they changed the word tip sort of to being like a hot lead. And I was like, well, what could that hot lead be? Did the family send him that way? Whatever. And then that SF Investigates guy was like, no. Some random person gave him the hot lead. All right, well, I was thinking that person must have been way wrong. Well, this turns out to be what that hot lead is. By the way, guys, I forgot to say this at the beginning, and I need to keep saying it because I forget. This is a totally crowdfunded stream, which means we only survive and are able to do what we do by people like you who get behind us and support us. And so you can support through PayPal at Tyler Feller, Cash App at $ Tyler Feller 22, or Venmo at Tyler-Feller. It's a great way to support us. It really is like the best way you could possibly support the stream, support this channel. You can also give on super stickers and super chat, sort of like a tip jar. If you get value from this content or enjoy it, that's one way you can give value back. Another thing you can do if you're like just not in a place where you can do that is just hitting the like button. Just by hitting the like button, it makes a huge difference. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for those of you who are hitting the subscribe button as well. Thank you guys for doing that. Oh, Freddie, thank you for that super sticker. I honor you, and I'm just so grateful for your support. Thank you.
Disappeared. But it was around noonish, like 11 o'clock in the morning when I got out to her. During that period of time, after the period, I told her that I was going to leave and I hope you have a great day. Vehicle, I told her to keep it running for a couple of hours to obviously make sure everything's working good on the vehicle, charging system wise. At that point in time, then I left. And then a week later is when I saw at a coffee shop that she was gone.
You saw this on a flyer or something?
Yeah, but then everything spiraled out of control and I got in contact with the detective and tried to do everything I could. And yeah, and then I saw you guys.
Now we know we probably have a tie to Boca, which was already on my radar. Do you know who placed the call to your roadside company?
So I can't get details. Calls don't go through me. They go through
dispatch. So you don't have. So when you were digitally dispatched, did you call them to say you were coming, or you just showed up?
I did call and nothing went through. It went straight to voicemail. Yeah.
Do you know if she had a phone on her at the time?
She did state that her phone was dead, she used whatever guy, whoever this was, she used his phone. So that's how she did get in contact.
And what was, you mentioned like she was asking funny questions.
The FBI confirmed that her phone died at 12:33 that night. But the question that I couldn't figure out from any of this is like, if Kiely's phone was dead at 11 a.m. and nobody can answer this question, how did they call for help? Because he said when he was calling the phone, like on his way there to meet them or whatever, it was just going straight to voicemail. And he asked him what's going on. And she said, "Oh, my phone's dead." Well, how did they call in the first place? Hotspot says, "Go to the pic of the search day. This guy is there." Do you have can you send it to me, Hotspot? Can you email it to me? Because it would take me forever to even figure out which picture of the search day you're exactly talking about. Thank you for your super chat, though. Appreciate it. Thank you for your support. So yeah, you'd think, and even this guy would have the phone number like in the call log to know, right? He has no motive to be dishonest, first off, the tow truck driver. But hey, Trucy, I put that www.movement-coffee. I put it in the chat. He has no motive to be dishonest, I don't think. What would be his motive of being dishonest about it? But I just don't know if the story totally lines up. There's a lot about it that I'm like, I just don't know if it lines it. Does he have like actual evidence that we can point to and say, yes, that we know that that's Kiely's car because of that or whatever? Somebody's going to have to tell me. Hey, Hotspot, you said the guy passenger looks like Jagger. Do you have a picture of that? I'm curious. I think Jagger was in Sacramento, like 4 hours away when all this went down. But I'd love to see what you're talking about.
And what was, you mentioned like she was asking funny questions and acting weird.
Granted, I at the time I didn't realize again. That
Yeah. I mean, I've been in the towing industry my whole life, so you see a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of weird stuff, and it's actually pretty normal. So I can see why at the time it's just a normal call.
She kept on going over that, like how do you like secure your seatbelt firmly and like do it correctly, and that's when
she was asking this, was the guy.
You know something else that I thought about, because when you become an adult, maybe you're more used to like having to do things like call tow truck drivers and that sort of thing. But imagine being 16 years old, only having been driving for a short time, just got a car a month ago. You're having to call a tow truck driver. I don't understand that. Especially when she lives 10 miles down the road and both her parents are there. Nobody's even talked about that. Number one, it's kind of scary as a young person to call a tow truck driver to fix your vehicle. So that's strange and abnormal to begin with. Number two, I've been in situations where my car, I need to have help. The only time I've ever called the tow truck is like when the car is completely broke down. That's when you're like, crap, we can't do anything. You try everything. Like I was at a restaurant in Nashville the other day, and there's a bunch of college students in there, and this guy's like walking around like, hey, can you jump my car? Anybody can jump my car. Like that's the kind of thing you do before you call up a tow truck driver. That don't even make sense. The only part of it that would make sense would be like if your car has roadside assistance and you hit a button on the car and you can say, I need roadside assistance, and it's paid for and covered somehow. Like, that's the only way that would make sense. Like, I had Geico insurance. It kind of worked like that. I locked my keys in my truck not that long ago. And then I had to just go boop, 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 boop on my app of Geico. And then the roadside assistance from Geico people came and took care of it. And it was no problem. Like, I did that. That's something I did. That was really nice to be able to do that from an app. Like, I was at a restaurant and I was like, oh my gosh. And then they came and got it done before I was done eating. It was really cool. So I don't know what happened in her situation, but I would just imagine being 10 miles from home. Like, the last thing that you're going to do is call a tow truck driver. Like, that's the last thing you're going to do. And when you live in an area like this, if your car's immovable, like, you're going to call your friends and family. They're going to be able to move. Everybody's going to have a trailer. Everybody there has four-wheelers and snowmobiles and side-by-sides. People have trailers to move vehicles. Her dad and her grandpa's an engineer. You think he'd know how to fix a battery. So there's just some things that the reasoning behind why she would call a tow truck driver doesn't make sense to me. I haven't been able to get down to the bottom of that. Someone help it make sense. If somebody else can help it make sense, then let me know. But right now, in my own feeble mind, I'm having a hard time making sense of it myself.
Guy that she was with right there
He
too,
was
or-
on the opposite side of the car.
so he could hear the conversation as well.
Every single time the guy would come over to us, she would go on to the other side, and it was just like a back and forth, like a tag team. Better to say, like, one person would come over, she wouldn't stay near him, and then it would go vice versa. Or if we were at the front of the car going about the battery and talking about the battery, he was always on one side, she was on the other. They were never close to each other.
She was uncomfortable. Yeah, because that screams awkwardness and someone being uncomfortable. And when in that scenario, if he was there with her, he should have been right next to her. If not dealing with you the entire time and not her. Did she seem high or intoxicated or?
I thought that maybe she was either hungover or just had a really rough day. She looked distressed.
Can you show me on the map where you saw her?
Absolutely.
All right, so we're here in Reno. Let's go down to Truckee. There's Prosser, there's Boca. Just drop a pin on the road exactly where you saw her.
We're at the right place, right? Boca, you come in, you follow this road down. I think that is the turnout right there. Yeah, this is it. And so right there, how she was coming out this way,
So
and
her front end was facing 894.
Yeah.
All right. And did you leave before her or did she leave before you?
I left before her.
Was there anybody else around?
There was people far back here, yes, but not near her, no.
Did you notice anything in particular in her car at all?
I mean, besides perfume bottles and actually there was a perfume bottle that was in the center console, and that was all that I recall, to be honest.
Did she have anything on her keys at all?
I don't remember.
Did you say that you guys have cameras that could possibly get some sort of facial recognition on?
Yeah.
And that's the good thing. They got the cameras there. Hey, Deborah, thank you so much for your gift on Cash App. I really appreciate it. Guys, your support makes such a big difference over here. So thank you for that. Thank you for your super sticker, super chats, likes, comments, subscription, and Cash App, Venmos, all of that. It makes such a huge difference. So thank you so much for that. The thing that I'm thinking about too, guys. Oh, Paige, I got your gift over on Cash App just now. I didn't see it till just now. I mean, on Venmo. Thank you for that. There's video, right? There's video from that facial. He says facial recognition.
So we do indeed. We have cameras facing front and rear of our vehicles, as well as that we do have like audio, so we can pick up audio from inside and outside of the truck. So we did have that, and I'm guaranteed. I mean, my vehicle is facing directly towards hers, so that's how I normally do it for my protection.
What's the window you're giving us of when this happened?
Either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, I believe. Because the weekends I usually cover Truckee. So
when did it happen? Friday, Saturday, or Sunday? Well, the party was Friday night, Saturday. So there's three options. It could have happened on Friday. For some reason, I can't use my fingers very good on my right hand right now, which is weird. So 3 options on Friday: Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If it happened on Friday, it was before the party, and then this doesn't even really mean much. If it happened on Saturday or Sunday, it was after the party, and that is a major, major, major thing. A lot of you guys are saying confirm Saturday, confirm Saturday, confirm Saturday. That's wild if it is. Hey, Amy, thank you so much for that super sticker. She's the one who got the dove painting, by the way. Oh, it's over there. I was going to pick it up and show it to you guys, but I can't reach it right now. Oh, hey, we do a thing here if you're brand new to our channel called the Super Sticker Train, where it's just where maybe you've never sent a super sticker or super chat before, or you want to support again. It's where we just boom, 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 rapid fire on super stickers, super chats. And so is it possible for us to get 10 super stickers in the next 5 minutes? Wouldn't that be amazing? Thank you, Amy, for being our train conductor. That's what we call her. And sounding the alarm. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. Hey, Shelly, thank you. Our first on the super sticker train. Thank you so much for doing that. We only need 9 more.
And that Friday, I also worked in Truckee. So, yeah.
If you were to make a bet on what day it was, what would you say?
When I was looking back under my GPS, under my phone of where I've been, I was there both Saturday and Sunday, farther into Boca.
Everything you just heard unfolded right here where I'm standing. Talking about where Nick described him parking his service van. When he pulled up to give the battery service to Kiely, he parked his van right here, facing that direction. Her vehicle was parked right over here, facing 894, that way. We're going outside of what we would normally do.
So the normal protocol for Adventures with Purpose is go to their last known location. According to law enforcement, the last known location that they were counting was that cell phone ping at 12:33 on Saturday morning, not the 11 a.m. at Saturday morning firsthand eyewitness account. And so they would normally go off of what law enforcement was saying, 12:33 right there at Prosser Family Campground, the Prosser Creek Reservoir. So it's totally abnormal for them to do what they did by going to Boca. So let's see who's on the super sticker train. Mar, great to see you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Heidi, thank you so much for joining the super sticker train. Thank you. MD, thank you for joining us. That's number 4. Nancy's number 5. Hey, Nancy, thank you for being on the stream with us. Deanna is number 6. Thank you guys for your support today. I really appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. Tammy's awake now. Good, Tammy. I was thinking you were going to sleep all day. You're number 7. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Because we're normally working cold cases that have hardly had any resources whatsoever applied to them. This case has had over 10,000 man hours over the last 2 weeks placed in at Prosser. I'm confident in what has been done at Prosser. It doesn't mean I'm not going to check it. It just means that I'm not going to start there. We're going to make the most of our time by starting where we know not that much work was put into. I'm a firm believer in second chances. However, some things don't deserve forgiveness. Maliciousness does not deserve forgiveness. Cold-blooded, cold-heartedness, taking the life of a 16-year-old deserves zero forgiveness. I have set a radius of 10 miles around Prosser Creek Reservoir. We're going to work hard to clear Stampede.
What do you guys think about what he was saying about forgiveness? He says it deserves zero forgiveness. And he made it taking the life. He's definitely painting it as a picture that something bad happened, that was foul play. The way he's saying it, does it not sound like it's foul play? Taking the life, it's like he wasn't saying it in such a way that made you feel like it could have been an accident. He made the way that he worded it, it for sure sounded as if he's talking about it being foul play. The way he worded it just now. Like, listen to him. I could be wrong, but listen to what he says.
A 16-year-old deserves zero forgiveness. I'm a firm believer in second chances. However, some things don't deserve forgiveness. Maliciousness does not deserve forgiveness. Cold-blooded, cold-heartedness, taking the life of a 16-year-old deserves zero forgiveness. I have set a radius of
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I was muted. I'm so sorry, guys. I said a lot of really good things and you missed it. I said the way that he worded that, sorry, I feel like a goofball. It happens sometimes where I forget to unmute myself, unfortunately. Hang on, let's get back to playing this for a second.
of 10 miles around Prosser Creek Reservoir. We're going to work hard to clear Stampede, Independence, Boca, and Prosser Creek, all within that 10-mile range.
Yeah, tomorrow marks 2 weeks since the Truckee teenager disappeared after attending a party at a campground. We are learning tonight that a new group of volunteers are coming from out of state to help find her.
Everybody just wants the same outcome. It doesn't matter who finds her.
40 to 50 feet offshore. You could easily conceal a vehicle right in here.
Doug Bishop and his team is ready to join the search for missing Truckee teenager Kiely Rodni.
We all have one goal. We all just want to find Kiely. I've just located in the corner of this cove here a target that I cannot identify. We're also talking about a vehicle that is not going to come up the way a vehicle would if it had been under here for 10 years. Based on the height, it's not anything. However, I just want to make sure. The reason that this is suspicious is because you could dump a car down that hill back here in this corner, in this little cove, and no one will see it.
The team coming in just days after authorities announcing they are scaling back the search for Kiely.
We've had over like 9,000 man hours into searching, which is pretty astronomical. Our biggest problem is where do we go and how do we keep sustaining this?
They just want help. They don't care how it gets done. They just want it done. Hey, Nick.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I was just doing a test to see if a vehicle did go down in here, if they had cell service to call somebody, because we're not far from where she had to call because of the apparently couldn't start the vehicle.
Right.
So, okay, just testing.
All right, buddy.
All right, bye.
So we've cleared the area behind the campground that was just behind where Nick serviced her car, allegedly, the day after she went missing. And we're now coming up along 894 as it heads north up towards Stampede Reservoir. There's a guardrail right there.
However, if a vehicle went off this, you would have evidence of it. Unfortunately, we didn't find anything, but at least we can say we cleared it, and she's not in this lake, or at least her vehicle isn't.
I hope it's an accident, because accidents happen, as tragic as it would be regardless if she's no longer with us. An accident is better than somebody maliciously doing something horrible to her. I mean, you could just imagine the way that would happen in your last moments, knowing that someone is taking your life, versus I'm in an accident and it's quick and it's just different. It's a lot different. And I hope that if that's how this is ended, it's an accident versus at the hand of somebody else.
What would you want to say to Kiely tonight?
I love her so much. So many people love you. And we're all looking, and we're trying so hard. And I'm so sorry we haven't found you yet, but we're not giving up, and just hang in there, sweetie. Just find you soon, bring you home.
Intensifying search for a missing 16-year-old California girl who vanished after a campground party. Police are treating this as a possible abduction.
Investigators believe someone knows something. They're asking anyone with information to come forward.
When you miss a loved one or a friend or a community member and you don't know, that's a nightmare. But I don't want to find her. I want to be able to clear all this water and be able to tell the family, she's not here. She's not here.
That was, I think, the area of interest. but it looks like there's no way you could get the vehicle in there.
So we're here at one of the ponds behind the shopping center, and as we can tell, there's not hardly any access whatsoever for a vehicle, plus it is extremely shallow. We're here, the ground is a lot harder, so the tire tracks are a lot harder to see. However, we can see tire tracks clear as day. You got a tire track right here. Look at this. See that? Those are tire tracks. We also have, equipment there, trucks during the day, probably workers. But whether or not we can see tire tracks, it doesn't matter, because I can see out at least more than 100 feet. You can clearly see the growth. In the growth, the pattern in the growth, the vegetation, nothing's been changed. If a car would go in, there'd be a path, and a car's not gonna go that far out right here. There's no path, there's nothing cut. You could launch a car off here though. It's just, you're not gonna hide it right there. Saturday, August 20th, we're at Donner Lake, Truckee, California. We can see a lot of visibility. I can see the bottom. I still can see the bottom. Wow. We can't see it on drone. So right here where it stops, it drops off significantly. So if it were to come in here, if it's gonna make it, this drop is a big drop. So it's gonna keep, if it went in here, it's gonna keep going. We're not gonna be able to see it.
I mean, it's good that they went to those places and that they weren't able to, find anything, but obviously we know what ends up happening at Prosser. I was saying, thank you, Stephanie, for that super sticker, and thank you, Marilyn, for that super sticker. Appreciate it. Sharon, welcome back to the Feller fam. Appreciate it. Good to see you. I feel like a goofball. I was muted a second ago. Amber says, love and appreciate your channel. Amber, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. John, welcome. Thank you for that super sticker. We crossed the 10 mark a second ago, so grateful for that. Trucy, welcome to thank you for your super sticker. I really appreciate it. Lisa, new member, welcome to the Feller fam. We're glad to have you. Not a story, but a narrative. Sir Coolbox says, Amy, thanks. I don't need credit because I didn't do anything. Yeah, email it to me, Sir Coolbox, if you don't mind. I'd love to see what you're talking about. One thing, yeah, you make a great point. The lakes here are pretty clear, including even Prosser Lake. It's pretty clear.
Although the team could not say specifically what brought them out here to Donner Lake, they are concentrating on the boat launch and the area surrounding it.
Four feet, 5 feet, 10 feet, 16, 17, 19, 22 feet, 26, 30, 42 feet, 50 feet. Wow.
It gets deep quick.
It does get very deep. 75 feet, 80 feet already. 93 feet, 105 feet. I'm gonna change my scanning to 100 feet either way to compensate for the depth. 117 feet deep right here. 142 feet. Do some vertical in and out patterns.
Sure.
117 feet deep right here. 142 feet. Coming down the side here at 41 feet.
142 foot deep is deep water, guys. I'm talking deep water. Not as deep as like Lake Tahoe, obviously, which is like 1700 feet. By the way, guys, this is totally unrelated, but right before I got on my stream today, a friend of mine called me, and there's a missing person who was abducted from Tennessee, where I live. That's a friend of a friend, and it's possible that we'll start talking about that case. It hasn't got very much coverage yet, but I was telling them, if you guys can get the family on my show, that's going to be really helpful. But it was a lady who was just going out for a jog and got abducted. It's like, and so her name's Eliza Fletcher. And I Googled her, and it says Eliza Fletcher, a teacher and the granddaughter of a billionaire, has been abducted. And these are a friend of mine is very good friends with them, and called me today and asked if I would cover the case. And so I said, yeah, I would love to have them on and to talk about it. So that's another case, guys, I want you thinking about, and hopefully in the next 1, 2, 3 days, we'll have them on the show. Some people are saying, I think it was the husband. That's who I'm trying to get on the show. So we'll be able to ask him some questions.
So if we are considering foul play, would you do this right across the street from the fire department?
In a panic scenario, and you only know the areas that you're familiar with, you don't know people do weird stuff when they're in a panic.
Looking for a fresh car. It's really hard to see. That's why I'm just being really...
Right, I gotcha. What is that? Huh. Rocks? How's it still under there? Must just be rocks. A layer of them or something?
I don't think it will roll that far, man.
Especially because there were rocks. I know that there'd be air in it and it would come up, but
it just depends on how buoyant it was.
There's no way. Once it gets, it's not 50 yards maximum. Go one more time over by that corner. Yeah, there's a little spot at the end they could have gone off. See that? That doesn't have a curb. If you look over here, you can see there's no guardrail or anything on this road. So we're just going to scan the whole lake right here. Make sure it's clear, because a vehicle could easily, whether it's accident or on purpose, go off the road into the lake. It drops off pretty steep. We're at 31 feet out here, so that's why we're going to clear it. Lake's.
Do you guys think the family, I mean, obviously they're aware Adventures with Purpose is out there searching. Do you think the family is like waiting by the phone to get a phone call? Because surely they would have had to have known who Adventures Purpose is at this point, especially, and maybe that's part of the, and I think about how God works, part of the providential reason they didn't search Prosser first. Gave them a whole day to like get prepared and ready to receive the news, you know, and maybe even get somewhat familiar with who Adventures with Purpose is and what Adventures with Purpose does. So do you think they're waiting around by the phone kind of a thing?
It's clear. It's super shallow around the edges other than right here, but you can see the bottom for almost 100, 150 feet off the shoreline. And there was only a few places where a car could even make it in there. We went even above and beyond that. So I'm 100% confident that the vehicle is not in this lake.
We have now cleared 5 miles of shoreline on all 3 boat ramps here on Donner Lake.
And you know, we still have questions and not a ton of answers. So maybe one of you, I know somebody out there has answers. If you or somebody you know thinks you might know something that happened that day or that night.
Watching him do this with this kind of energy now, and then knowing in advance, because I've already watched this video, and I know probably every single one of you have watched the full video already too, but knowing what his face looks like the next day when he finds Kiely is absolutely heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Allegedly with Brittany J says, hey, Tyler, looks like we're covering the same case again. This one's more bizarre. Thank you for bringing awareness. Thank you for covering it too. It definitely is a weird case, and I appreciate your super chat. I honor you. I bless you. Thank you for your support. Guys, super chat, super stickers make a huge difference, and so we do take time out when we get those to honor them. And by the way, it's really hard for me to see every single comment. Sometimes people get really upset at me because I didn't catch their comments. Please don't get upset about that. It's so hard when you're in my position. I'm trying to like track with everything to catch everything. I do try to catch some of them, but I go back after the show and read most of them.
You need to come forward. You need to step up, call the authorities, talk to somebody, and get the information out there. There's a 16-year-old daughter missing. A mother is missing her 16-year-old daughter. We need to find her and bring answers to this family.
Day 2 of the search. Now they're at Prosser. You can see them. It's interesting where they choose to go in the water at and to take their RV to, because you'd think that they might have wanted to take it to that spot where the last ping was. In an interview I'm going to play in a second, well, I don't know if I had that clip up, but I'm going to talk in a little bit, where Doug was literally saying like he had extensive conversations with law enforcement. So you would think that law enforcement also asked him to come there. It's part of the reason why I didn't understand why they were so mad at Adventures with Purpose.
The team specializing in cracking cold cases free of charge, and they came from miles away to help solve her mysterious disappearance, now 2 weeks after she went missing.
Day 2 in our search for Kiely Rodni. We're beginning right here at Ground Zero, Prosser Family Recreation Site, where Kiely, 16-year-old Kiely, disappeared from, according to law enforcement, this was her last known location. Yesterday, we based our search off of a tip that we deemed credible. We took that, we dissected it, and determined that we should start in a different area. Those areas were within our 10-mile radius. We were able to rule them out, and that's what brings us back to square one here at Prosser Family Campground.
Kiely and her family are from the local area here in Truckee, California. And everywhere we have gone along this search, we have seen these posters absolutely everywhere. It's great to see a community come together in support for this family in need. And it's also because of a community like you that we are able to do what we do. So please, if you haven't done so already, please like.
Hey, Brantley, thank you for that super sticker. I appreciate it. I honor you and I bless you. Thank you for the support. Oh, MJ said he didn't realize that that's the diver. I mean, when he's in the water, man, it's heartbreaking for me. A mother was eating sushi, and she heard from her restaurant that Kiely was. I love sushi. I love sushi. My channel's right now doing a September healthy eating challenge, and in my plan, I'm doing rice is not allowed, so no sushi for me. But I love sushi. Every time somebody talks about it, I'm like, ooh, I love it. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. I've heard that from SF Investigates or whatever, that's how the mom found out, which is heartbreaking. I would say there's maybe some reasons behind that. Not that she had to find out from a waitress, but the fact that there wasn't conversation, her phone wasn't working. Somebody said, I don't know. There's maybe some to that. So, but thank you for letting me know, Jennifer. I honor and I bless you.
Subscribe, share, and watch these videos. We really appreciate everything you do for us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Of course, a lot of questions, as you did mention there, and a big one is this dive team was able to find her. They went out there this weekend, found her pretty quickly, while investigators searched that area and haven't found her. Have they responded to say, I guess, why that is?
Pushes out. Time is 10:41. We are now on Prosser Creek Reservoir. This is, according to law enforcement, Kiely's last known location. So we're looking for a silver vehicle. Her Honda CRV is silver in color. Helicopter.
The fact that it's according to law enforcement that it's Kiely's last known location, does that make you guys feel like they should be listening to law enforcement from the beginning? Because it makes that AAA guy or whatever company he works for, CAA or roadside assistance guy, seem like not that valid when law enforcement was like, this was her last known location. It's 50 yards from the party.
Helicopters have stated that they could see the bottom of this reservoir. We've had multiple different extreme levels of sonar utilized by different sonar teams in this reservoir. I'm confident in what they've done. However, and not to sound cocky, but if we haven't searched it, it hasn't been searched. That's our motto, so that we stay efficient.
I don't know why that makes them more efficient, because efficient has to do with speed. but it's their motto, so they stay effective would be a better way to say that, right? Because efficiency has to do with the speed, effectiveness has to do with percentage of success. So you do want to be very effective. You also want to be very efficient. But I'm thinking through what he says, and I totally agree. It's like you can't depend on anybody else to have done a search for you, especially when you weren't there, because you have no idea how they searched it, and they're not able to read sonar the way that you are.
And protect the integrity of everything we do as we're working for families and law enforcement. So I'm theorizing that the bottom of this reservoir is a similar color to silver. Could it have not been seen? Absolutely. Could the car be in here? According to law enforcement, like I said, we are at her last known location. They said her cell phone stopped pinging right here at 12:33 a.m. on August 6th. Today, we're going to be putting myself and Nick 2 boats in. For one, it's going to be great training for Nick. As you guys know, we're training Nick to be a team lead for our second team. So not only is 2 boats better than 1, but we're also utilizing my ability to put Nick out in front of me so I can see what he's seeing, see what he misses, see if he catches anything, and so forth. Great training opportunity. And speaking with the Placer County Sheriff's Department, they did advise me that it got down to about 55 feet deep. And right now we are at 45 feet.
55 foot deep is child's play to the other lake that they were in.
Reading on live scope. Real consistent 45 feet here. This just got sent to me. I cannot name who did, but it says the Truckee Facebook missing persons groups are on fire with speculation about what happened to Kiely. Thing is that some of it may not be speculation. It may be real clues as to what happened. The party, 200 plus, fact is there was a lot of drinking and drugging. Reported fights, some disturbing behavior between Kiely and a girl named minutes before the party suddenly breaking up. And then cars started flying out of the parking lot. Something bad happened and all the kids' parents told them not to get involved. You may want to keep in mind that there's a possibility of what happened to Kiely could be more sinister, and there was a panic. I knew. You know, I feel the same way. A kid goes missing after attending a party of 200 to 300 people. There's always, most likely, something that happened at that party. Someone knows something. Someone possibly did something. It's an accurate and fair assessment to make. Not only one person knows, but multiple people know. This boat ramp over here is in our target area as well. This entire reservoir, but we have another boat ramp right here. You can see the cars, how they pull down right to the water all the way over here. So if something bad happens, you can put a car in here anywhere. We are on the side where the party was here at the campground. So if we're gonna find the vehicle, I would fully expect to find it right where we are right now. Really shallow, man. It's only 2 feet.
Hey, does this lake get pretty dry at the end of the summer?
This has probably been the driest it's been in a long time.
Really? Okay. There's something weird. Let me see the camera. We'll go by it a couple times. There's something creating a big shadow right there. So we're gonna go. It's right off this point. If they scanned it, how would they miss that? So I'm assuming it's nothing because they did have dive teams, but I don't want to be the guy that just says, "Oh, it's nothing," because it doesn't look like a car.
Hey, Doug, Devin over here. We may have something. It's hard to tell. Live scope doesn't work, so it's hard to verify, but we're definitely getting a solid cache shadow.
Where are you at?
It's to, I sent the coordinates to Carson, but we're on the, is this the eastern part of the shore? I know. We're by the other boat ramp, not the one that you guys went towards, but the one at the top of the lake.
So we're gonna head over here to the other side of the reservoir where there are lots of drive lanes down to the water's edge where people have cookouts, get-togethers, parties, family gatherings. This is a prime location where Kiely's vehicle could have made it into the reservoir. Is that what you just saw?
Yeah. So it's just a big shadow there. You see that?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense though. It's only 10 feet of water. We definitely have something man-made. Big.
It's probably nothing, but it was a big shadow.
It's something.
Isn't that weird? I mean, it's just big.
It's definitely something directly under us right now. What is that, Carson? Is that a boat? Or is that an SUV? Whatever it is, it has buildup on it. Could be a car. More in the shape of a boat. And I'm seeing similarities that show buildup, which we shouldn't have buildup on this car. It's only been 2 weeks.
It looked like an upside down sunken boat.
Possibly. Could be a boat. It's something though. I believe it's a car. And I have to be quiet because I don't want to alarm the entire campground right now. This is an ongoing investigation. Man, we're getting some funny imaging on this, which is indicative of a newer vehicle. There it is. See that? What is that? That's a wheel. See the wheel? Is it a wheel? Is it a boat? Looks like a wheel, man. Look at that. Look at that. That's a wheel. That's a wheel, dude. We have a wheel. It's tall, whatever it is. Got it. Got it. We got a car. We got a car. So trying to pull myself directly over it. Look at that. It's not giving a good reading, but there's a wheel. You see it? We need to go get suited up. We need to figure out how to get our RV over here. You guys put us in this position. Everybody that supports us, y'all put us in this position. We wouldn't be able to afford to do this if it wasn't for you. Let's assess our situation. 18 different agencies, over 19,000 man hours.
You guys pay attention to the way their faces are during some of this.
Have been put into this. Not a zero vehicle was found in this reservoir. That is giving me a really weird reading. It looks just like a car. It looks just like an SUV. And it looks like it's giving me some misreadings the way a newer car would. So amazing scan. Great job, man. Great job scanning that. We need to do this as quietly as possible.
You were able to get a magnet on it?
Oh yeah, and it's slipping. It's slipping on some of the vehicle the way a newer car would. And actually, it's not getting a. It's smooth. I can tell that it's smooth. Is it a boat? It absolutely could be a boat, but I doubt it, man.
Most boats are.
Yeah. Right. No one at camp can know what we're doing. Everybody's phones need to be turned off. If you have a phone, you need to turn your phone off right now. The last thing that we want to do.
I heard him talking about why he tells them to turn the phone off too. And he said that there was a team of 30 media people like over on the Hill. And so essentially one of the things that he's trying to do is make sure that nobody that's surrounding this event, media or whatever, has an opportunity to like leak it out. And so he's trying to remain as cool as possible. Like the guy interviewing him was like, hey, hey, would somebody just block Dawn? Gonna start calling this the Benny Hinn show. I know you mean that derogatory. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about, the Benny Hinn show? We're talking about a missing person, Kiely Rodni. Like, I can't handle when people want to come on here and be completely disrespectful to me and our people. It just doesn't make sense. And then people will say it's not very Christian-like of you to block people. Well, it's, you know, meekness and weakness are two different things. Being meek doesn't mean being weak. And we're not going to allow people to come and troll or trash talk or negate the good work that we're doing here with stupid comments. It's just not allowed. We block far less than other channels, by the way, too. And none of these other channels people come after. But because I'm a Christian, everyone's like, oh, well, how godly of you to block. I get emails almost every day. You call yourself a Christian, but I was blocked on your channel. I'm like, number one, I never blocked. I didn't block you. But number two, let's talk a little bit deeper about, you know, why we let go of trolls. Anyways, he was saying that there was a team of 30 media people watching him, and he's like, I don't think anybody's able to listen to our phones or anything, but he's like, we just didn't want to take any chances, because I thought that was a great question. Why'd they have them shut down their phones? And Doug said that's why. He's like, there's a team of 30 media people there. We did not want it to leak at all to anybody who's around.
Do is cause alarm to the family and or the local law enforcement. If this is a car and it's not the car we're looking for, I want to be able to do that peacefully. I don't want to cause a turmoil. If anybody knows that we found a car right now, it's gonna be unnecessary.
You see how he says, if anybody knows we found a car right now, and did you see Nick, like he turned completely around?
If anybody knows that we found a car right now,
see, he's looking to see, oh yeah, he's talking about the media that comes. So my gosh, guys, this is so heartbreaking. Keith said, man, I missed all the troll blocking or troll ignoring. Hashtag no troll zone.
It's going to be unnecessary. It's going to be unnecessary trauma for the family. We need to go back to the ramp and cause as little. We found nothing. We're just moving locations. That's all. Okay. All right.
How stressful to be in this situation. Guys, I consider it to be very stressful. Very stressful. If I was him, there's 30 media watching. He's thinking these other law enforcement agencies have emphatically said they've searched this extensively. They don't believe that the car is there, blah, 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 blah. And they find it. There's 30 media people there watching. They're trying to keep it as quiet as possible. He's processing, like, what are we going to see? How are we going to get that information out? Who are we going to tell? It's a rough situation they found themselves in, although it's the situation they put themselves in too. It's what they do all the time. However, there's a reason why they typically work cold cases.
If this is her, you know, this means all hope is lost as far as her still being out there, right? And her showing up, her being found safe.
I was really hoping, this is a bad thing to hope, that she had been human trafficked. A lot of people that are in situations like that were like, I'd rather be dead. You know, I think that's really bad. But I was like, I was hoping, like, if she was abducted or something, maybe she was alive, human trafficked, or something like that, or even better, just ran away. So that's what he's saying. Like, man, this is when hope is diminished. This is when hope begins to leave.
This is devastating. This is as devastating as it gets. You know, it's different when we're finding somebody who's been missing for 20 and 30 years.
Right.
This child, you know, 16-year-old, same age as my daughter. She's only been missing for 2 weeks. Literally, the campground is right up over the hill. Right over the hill. This car is 3/10 of a mile from the campground she was at.
Yeah, how are you guys feeling? How are you guys feeling as you were watching this for the first time? They do a great job on their video edits. My goodness, I'm jealous of their ability to capture footage and to edit it in a compelling way. They have great storytellers among them because it's hard to do what they're doing.
This is absolutely a crime scene. It's an active investigation. Our job is to be here to find the where, which we have done. Now we need to assess it appropriately. Full assessment, condition of the vehicle, windows up or down. Do not remove license plate like we normally do.
Copy that. I'm going to start my descent.
Because this is parts where things are blurred due to sensitive images. So viewer discretion in this part is advised. You can clearly see the car upside down. Sir Coolbox sent me a video where he flipped the video. So we'll play that after a while so we can watch it in non-upside down mode.
Confirm. I see the vehicle and the license plate. We have just found Kiely's vehicle. Over.
10-4. Do a full assessment methodically, slowly. Make sure you focus on footage of the vehicle so that we can accurately relay that to the authorities.
I thought this was a really good scene. When he says that, like, I thought he was handling that really well. Like, it's okay. Like, he's very calm and cool, you know. Obviously, Nick, the diver's got some emotions going on. He's the one discovering it. And then here Doug is up on the water, very, you know, very calm, methodical, look at everything, film everything. I think there's a couple of things I wish that they would have filmed. Doctora Latina says, listening to Nick's increase in respiration rate showed me his fear and shock. Hotspot says, I sent an email to press at Tyler Filler. I can't. Thank you, Hotspot. I'll check it out. I can't check out that video that you're talking about while I'm doing this, so I'll have to check it out later. But thank you so much for sending that. Thank you for your super chat too, guys. Super chat, super stickers make a big difference, and every even $1 counts, helps. So, I just really appreciate it. Thank you. Some of you guys don't support on YouTube because you don't like how they do their system. Well, you can support on PayPal, Tyler Feller, CashApp, $, Tyler Feller 22, or Venmo at Tyler-Feller. And people get on to me for saying things like that. I'm like, I don't care. It's literally how we're able to do what we do.
The vehicle is upside down. I repeat, it is upside down. I'm at the rear of the vehicle now, working my way around towards the driver's side. Over.
10-4. I read you loud and clear.
I'm approaching the driver's side window, trying to get a look inside.
Guys, that's the driver window. It is not broken. It is not broken. That's the driver window. It is not broken. So, because it is broken when they bring it out of the water. And so it's always been a point of conversation. One thing I wish that I could see is what the position, like I've said, is the driver's seat in. What position is that driver's seat in? To Neil, Suzanne, that's not true. You were waiting to call in, and I said you're the next one up. We're having you on, and then you got off. So don't try to come over here being mad at us about that. That was on you, not on us. That was not on us. That was on you, and you know it. It's crystal clear that that window is broken. I mean, not broken. I don't know what I'm saying. Not broken. Somebody sent me a screenshot from that video right here and like had all these things circled, and there was like, there's a man in this video. How come none of you guys are talking about it? Why are you covering up? There was another body in this car. I'm like, no way. No way.
I cannot positively identify anybody inside yet. I'm looking in the back now.
10-4. Take your time. Be safe.
I see a pair of shoes in the back. I'm moving my way towards the back window.
10-4. I read you loud and clear.
Obviously, this is blurred out, so it's confirmation that the back hatch is the location of the body.
I just confirm there are human remains in the vehicle. Over.
10-4.
And then that passenger window is broken. That passenger window is broken. All right, I want you to tell me what you see in this. We see alcohol can. That's not a phone charger, that's a MacBook charger right there. What else do you guys see? You see perfume in the console like the tow truck driver said? Do you see that hoodie? Like I see something there. I don't know if it's a hoodie or what it is. I'll turn off the volume so we don't have to hear that. What's that there? It's unfortunate too that we can't get a good glimpse of how the seat was. It's a hairbrush. Start typing all the items that you see. Hairbrush, visor for car window, hoodie. I'm not sure I see a hoodie, but I can understand why you're saying that's a hoodie. Like, it does look like a piece of clothing. So yeah, it could definitely be a hoodie. Could be a towel, right? That looks like a book. The way that it curves down looks like, but that's the sun visor actually, isn't it? That's what you guys are saying. It's the sun visor. Is the sun visor there? Fuji drink bottle? I didn't see that. A Fiji bottle of water? I did not see that. Obviously, I see the Truly can. Hard seltzer. Some kind of dark bottle in there. Vape pen. I don't really see a vape pen in there, but there might be one. I wonder if I screenshot this and put it on like Photoshop and mess with the colors of it or something. We can do that here in a bit. I really want to get that red thing too. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about? Like that's red thing there. Let's see if I can get it. And like maybe here. I'm really curious what that red thing is.
Is broken out, it appears. Rear driver's side window is halfway down.
Copy that.
So let's pause this video. We'll come back to it, but let's go over to Photoshop and just see, guys. Like, let's just see if there's some things we can do on Photoshop with this picture, these screenshots, to see if there's something we can sort of like go through the color of. I don't even know how to do that really, but like, let me see. Can you guys see it? Photoshop on the screen. Well, let's just first circle what we see. How's that sound? Let's just begin to circle the things that we see. Okay. Let me do a circle right here. here, here. There's all things, right? Sun visor here. Sort of a hoodie here. Which I don't know how to circle that because it's kind of everywhere. Just make it a different color. What else needs to be circled in this image? Oh, great idea. Photo to be rotated. That's not a bad idea, right? Not a bad idea at all. So let me do, we'll just like totally flip this image around. So we need to rotate vertical. There we go. I don't know if that's helpful. In one way it is, in another way it's not. Because everything's laying, now it looks like everything's laying on the roof. That just doesn't make sense in my brain. So let's just label everything first, and then we'll try to like go through the image and like edit it that way. So let me do white without such a weird font. More like a normal font. I have, Kim, I don't know what you're talking about. Your auto tone? Okay, I get what you're saying now. Brush. Kim, do you want to call in? Actually, I don't want that one. I want. Sure. Is that, by the way, that charger is for sure a MacBook charger. Yellow.
Hey, are you? Oh, hold on, I gotta turn you down on the TV. Are you in the full version of Photoshop?
Yeah, I wasn't working on the image stuff yet first. I'm just trying to like label stuff and then see what emerges
You'll
after
be
that.
amazed when you do auto tone.
Okay. I'm just trying to get things like first labeled. That way we know what's what. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not sure that is a brush after you look at it. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So there we go, all that stuff. So now, is there anything else? I know there's one other image that like I sort of caught. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Cancel. There's that image of that red spot. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that one doesn't clear up much for me because it's in the shadow.
I see. So
But
like
yeah, it looks like it could be another shirt or a hat, but it's not. It's in the shadows, so it doesn't clear up very much.
So tell me about auto tuning or whatever.
Auto tone. So in the top, very top menu, where I'm not sure. I don't see your top menu. Where you would normally see the word Photoshop. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So under image, like there's file, edit. I don't see it on your screen.
Yeah.
I
see image, but there's not auto tone. Okay. Yeah, there is, but it's not letting me tone. So I probably need to like transform the image.
Oh yeah, you might have to.
I know what to do.
You might have. Okay. It just, everything jumps out when you do that.
Oh, it's still not letting me do it. Oh, hang on. Let me click on it. Now it should let me do it. Auto tone. Oh, you are right. Did you see?
Yeah, it's amazing. When you auto tone it, it really everything jumps out.
Wow, wow, wooza, guys. Wow, wow, wooza. This is wild. So let me take off my little circles, but I don't want to lose them. So let me just like quickly take them off. I was going to group everything together, but I'm like, it just takes more time than probably just clicking everything off real fast. Wow, Kim, what are you thinking? I need to go get another screenshot.
Well, yeah, I did it to the other one, but the red thing doesn't jump out because of it being in the shadows.
Let me auto tone that one real fast and just see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a red thing. But my gosh, that auto tone is like a genius maneuver. Tell me what you guys are seeing in here. I'm gonna go try to take a screenshot too of that video and just see even on the driver's side if there's anything we could pull out, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, auto tone will take out the a lot of the artifacts. So will filter render. Let me see if that helps any. Filter sharpen. No, that didn't really help any. Let me try it on the other one. Filter
Oh
sharpen.
my gosh, guys.
I'm just amazed at the amount of mud that you can see in there. Like,
Yeah,
so,
oh no,
I
well
mean,
that's a big deal. Grandma Bunny says, Tyler, if you zoom in, it looks like a hoodie. I mean, that does kind of look like a pink hoodie, doesn't it?
yeah, it looks like that could definitely be the white one.
The Odd
'Cause
Future
that white
one.
one was like yeah.
It's like a
Odd
whitish
Futures one.
pink one, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grandma Bunny, for your super sticker. It means a lot. Appreciate it.
So is this the hatchback that we're looking at, but not on the side she's on? Is that what this is?
This is the passenger front.
Okay. Well, I guess, when everything turns upside down, I guess that's why it's this way.
Yeah, this is insane. Insane in the membrane.
Yeah, I'm really amazed at all the mud. That's because you can see that when you do the auto tone, how much dirt and mud it was able to get in.
Here's the front, and I'm going to auto tone it real fast. You can't see much on the front because they have a flash or a light, and so it gives a reflection. But I was hoping we could get a better idea of where that driver's seat car was.
Well, you could just see when you were just over there. I know we're a little bit delayed, but you could see the headrest, and it wasn't as far back as it looked to be when they were pulling it out. The headrest was about at the doorpost.
So yeah, we're going to be way delayed, so that's not helpful.
Like right there you can see the headrest, but I know we're delayed, but it was about at the doorpost between the driver and the passenger.
I'm shook. So I'm thinking the more screenshots, the merrier underwater, right?
Yep. That's true. I'll go through and see what I can figure out, and I'll let you know if I find anything else.
Okay, feel free to call in too, so we're not like a lag or whatever. If you want to, if you think of anything. All right, bye.
Bye.
I'm on the room. Guys, this is wild to me. Looky here. I mean, there's the backside of that pink thing we were looking at. Let me see if I can brighten this up even. I've got to remember how to I make a lot of graphics on Photoshop, but I don't typically edit photos on there. But yeah, there's a brighter version of that. Just trying to figure out if we can figure out what position that seat was in. Wow, guys, look at that. I'm not seeing that seat at all. This is the driver's side. Let me try to flip the image vertically. Image rotation. I don't want to flip the whole canvas. I just want to flip the image. I am in a mode, guys. I am in a mode. I just want to transform this layer. And what I'll do, this is just going to be a faster way to do this for me right in this exact moment. Just flip it like this. Okay. So, guys, this is the driver's side, and you're looking at it really naturally. Hey, Doctora Latina. You said, Tyler, may I request you do not make Photoshop adjustments over the tailgate area where Kiely is located? Sure. I understand why you're saying that. It's going to be blurred out anyways, from my understanding, but yes. Thank you for your super chat. Okay. So yeah, guys, this is on Photoshop. This is the driver's side. So let me even just transform this image even a little bit more to make it be kind of like more like where the shape of a car would be. Probably something like that, right? If it was sitting upright. And then we're going to try to like do some adjustments on this particular image. Even lower the brightness. Guys, what I'm trying to see is like, can we see what position that driver's seat was in? Tell me if you guys see it. Clarification to not publish adjustments in her body. Yes, I knew exactly what you're meaning, Dr. Latina. Thank you for looking out for us. Thank you for your super chat. Appreciate it. You guys are seeing it upright? Hey, Robert's girl. You said thank you, Tyler. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat. Carol's heart is thumping. So yeah, guys, this is as if the car would have been upright. So like over here in this section, let me see if I can just draw on the image so you guys know what I'm talking about. I'll erase it, obviously. Just do like a light blue color. So over here, that's the front of the car. Oops. I actually want it to be a paintbrush with a color. What? I don't understand what I'm doing. But yeah, that there is the front of the car. Here's the window. Obviously, this whole thing's a window, but there's the passenger window. And what I'm looking to see is if we can see where the driver's seat is, because we weren't able to see it in the other imagery. All the way bright, slowly lowering to nothing. Contrast back and forth. All the way bright to lowered to nothing. And I'm doing auto now just to see what it does. I'd love to see what you guys see. Do you see a driver's seat, or is it you can't tell? And then let's look at that same thing. Sort of a different image of it. And then here's this one. I'd love to see what you guys see. I see a visor. I see a MacBook charger. I see a hairbrush. Looks like a hairbrush to me, at least. I see alcohol. I see part of a hoodie. What else do you guys see? There's something in the back seat. Not her. I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about the back seat right here. So I'm going to brighten this up and just see, or I'm going to auto image it or whatever Kim's teaching me to do. Image, auto tone. There's something here. I don't know what that is. Something over here. I don't know what that is. Anything else that sticks out to you guys? I don't know what and tell me what you guys think those things are, because I don't know. I'm kind of looking at the comments from my iPad because I can't, obviously, when I'm on Photoshop, even see.
Take your time.
That's that. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but that is that thing. Like, I have no idea what it is. Chris Hernandez says, how does this help with Kiely? Don't you feel a little bit gross exploding the death of a minor? There's a warm place for people like you crime grifters. Amy, thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to start a super sticker train, Amy is our super sticker train conductor. Feel free to hop aboard. Appreciate it. And I'm going to open up the phone lines if anybody wants to call in. Feel free to call in. We'll do a panel and maybe talk about some of these things that we're finding. Thank you, Patty, for hopping aboard the super sticker train. Appreciate it. Oh my goodness. Hey, Dr. Latina, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Thank you
Good.
on to our stream.
Sure. No, I think it's to answer the rather uncivilized, or let's say not very civil comment that was just read out loud regarding grifting. I really don't see, especially in your channel, this is anything more than trying to understand. I guess what I'm trying to say is I see what you're doing right now as beneficial to shining light and truth on what indeed happened to this young woman. And the money piece, it just to me is absurd to even talk about that piece of this, because you have to run your channel.
Exactly.
But I believe very strongly that it is incumbent, especially in this day and age when, I don't know, I just think there's a lot of dishonorability, unfortunately, amongst many sectors of our society. I think to use social media for the good is to shine light and to hold police, etc., accountable, because there is such a tendency, and I myself have experienced this even in my work life, working as an employee in places where there have been cover-ups, and it's horrible. And sometimes I believe we have to shine light. I know I'm repeating myself, but I feel very strongly, because I'm not yet convinced that law enforcement has been completely or will be completely transparent with what happened. So,
Well, and then especially if there's like fentanyl rings and things like that going on, and everybody's curious about it. The whole world's watching. What do people
yes,
think the news do every single day? Exactly what we're doing, except for we do it,
yes,
in my opinion, with better detail. And to talk about integrity, it's just silly. Like, we've honored and protected so many teenagers that every
yep,
other channel was
yep.
exploiting. So there's a lot to it. Hey, Eric, thank you for hopping aboard Amy's train. Appreciate it. You too, Carol. Thank you for being on the super sticker train. Maybe we get 5 people in the next 5 minutes. Wouldn't that be great? Appreciate your guys' support.
So that's really all I have to say. I just wanted to, I guess, sort of defend your integrity.
Oh, thank you. I kind of just ignored it because I'm
I know
like,
you did.
there's definitely no like, talking sense into people like that.
I understand, but I sometimes what happens with me is that I end up getting people coming at me, believe it or not, on different chats saying, "How could you be on this chat or that one?" And so I want to explain myself, defend myself, because I am a professional, and I believe that what you're doing is right and good and ethical. So that, just in case somebody wants to come after me for being on the little train here, I do believe it's the right thing for you to be doing.
Well, thank you.
All right, you have a good day. I'm going to jump back onto chat, family. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Hey, just Mike, how are you?
I'm good.
Eric, thanks for your super chat. You said grifters, so many things have the right to eke out a living, even though they disagree with my politics. I guess that's one way. That. Thanks for your super chat. So Kim sent me this, and this is clearly a MacBook here. That's like clear as day that that's a MacBook.
That looks like a MacBook.
Just label it MacBook. Okay. I don't know if you guys can tell what we're circling here, but it's like this.
It looks like something at an angle.
So that is for sure a MacBook. It's interesting to me, guys, to sort of figure out what we can find. I know some of you guys might not think this is interesting, but to me, it's definitely interesting. So, what are your thoughts about this? What thoughts?
Well, when I first saw the uncut version versus the cut version, at one point I first thought maybe I saw like a foot or something, kind of like visualizing what the diver was going through. Because I thought I heard him say that he saw a shoe.
I don't think I remember that, and I watched it pretty in depth.
The biggest thing that I'm looking at right now is what's the name that got censored, in the supposed fight with Kiely. I keep on coming up with Brianna, and I keep on coming up with Brittany.
It was Lori.
It was Lori.
Yep.
Do you have an idea why they censored that?
The family asked them to.
Okay. Wait, so Kiely was fighting against Lori? Is that the reason why they censored that?
No, the Lori is the aunt, and she asked them to take that off because she didn't want her reaction to be public.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the reaction. I'm talking about when the guy with the beard started talking about a scenario that was happening over there, and then he mentioned that Kiely got in a fight with somebody, and they censored the other girl's name.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think I saw it that fast.
Oh, I'm a little bit ahead of you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
don't know what I mean.
it's
At
in
least,
the
at least if I watched it, I
area.
have no idea what you're talking about.
He's on the water, and he's talking about the whole scenario, even with Kiely fighting with somebody, and then he eventually says another name, but that got censored. Like they literally covered his mouth so people couldn't read his lips.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't think too much about that stuff. I really am not sure at all.
Okay.
But I know the guy with the beard. I know the guy with the beard. His name is Doug. I know that there was a fight at the party, and he may have bleeped out who she was in a fight with or whatever. And that's the way it should be when we're talking about teenagers. But I didn't know that. I didn't even pick up that part had been removed from the video.
Yeah, I picked it up. Watched it a couple times, and then I keep.
So you're on to something. If we can figure out who she was fighting with.
I'm also in the belief that Jagger was actually there. A lot of people have said the picture that I've been comparing isn't him, but when you have hair sticking out so much and the hat in a particular way, he kind of stands out like a sore thumb. And I think you might have that.
I don't want to talk about any teenagers, not on this channel. So
Jagger's not a teenager.
Yeah, he's a teenager. He's 18, something like that. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
He's been nice to me. He texted me all throughout while they were trying to find Kiely. You know, I don't want to. It's just not what we do over here.
Understandable.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I thought it was an accident, and now after watching the way that Adventures with Purpose made their video, I think there was foul play. I just don't know what that foul play was.
Do you find the word suspicious out of the ordinary, or do you think that was the perfect wording for him for his first time?
Oh. Well, it was his first time, so he doesn't know what's suspicious and not. But I think they're not used to seeing someone in the back hatch for sure.
I kind of wonder if that was like a code word that they say prior when they go into water, like if they see something.
That might be. That might be, but you brought up a good thing. There's some interview that Doug did, and I want to start putting some of those on the screen. But I appreciate you calling in, Mike. Please watch those because some of the questions you're talking about might be answered.
All right, thank you guys.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. Guys, I do want to share some of these interviews. These are snippets from a friend of mine's channel named Popcorn Planet, and he had Doug over on his channel, and I have some timestamps. I'm going to play a couple of the interview sections for you where Doug specifically answers some questions.
Review with the guy in the beginning, which we can discuss as well, is the fact that she's not in the front seat. Now, is that alarm? It was alarming to Nick. I know it was. Was it alarming to you as well?
This is.
I tried to ask it carefully.
Yeah.
He's asking the question like the fact that she was in the back hatch, Like, how did you think about that? This is a great question.
I mean, let's just be obvious. You know, it's open for interpretation. Yeah, absolutely. Especially in hindsight, extremely alarming when you're not only not in the back seat, but you're in the back cargo area. And the vehicle was found upside down. So, I mean, just put all those factors in together. And, you know, you also know we have multiple windows that are either open or halfway down. We're talking about a very, very tiny young girl. I mean, that's open for a lot of assessment there. No, I think it's alarming. Absolutely.
Lewis, I want to go to you. What do you want to ask Doug?
Well, first, Doug, thank you and welcome to Popcorn Planet here and stuff. We appreciate everything you do. Could you describe the community of Truckee? Was there anything odd? Because we didn't get too much information, obviously, with the investigation with the police department, the sheriff department there. So a lot of people were theorizing, even to the point, like, was there really even a party? Because we saw very little photos from there. Could you confirm or deny? Was there a party? And how was the community there?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, nowadays when we have this, you know, the world picks it apart and the holes and the unseen become, you know, stories that are seen in people's minds, and you know, everybody's filling in the blanks. There's nothing about this situation that's fake. There was a party there. I can tell you that there was upwards of 400 children at that party. This is a senior send-off, really massive party.
Guys, he said there's 400 people at the party. 400 people at the party is what he's saying. A lot of you guys were saying there was barely even 100 people there, as if it matters, the specific exact amount of people. But a lot of you guys question that. He's like, I'm promising you that there's 400. Here's another clip.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that, man.
He's playing. Podcast. It was in neutral due to how the tires were angled.
He's asking, like, some people are saying it was in neutral. Some people are saying it's in drive. What do you have to say about that, since you were there in the water?
Man, I mean, my lack of response, I mean, it just answers it, right? But I you know, there would be a lot of answers that.
When he said my lack of response, it just answers it. I didn't understand what he was meaning. Can you guys help me read between the lines on that one? I couldn't even read between the lines myself.
Be some big developments shortly. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, because I was gonna say you clearly know more, but I would imagine the FBI knows even more than we all do. Do you feel more confident that there are, you know, you just said it, I guess, that there will be more answers out there at some point?
There has to be. There has to be, you know. There just has to be, unless this is a scenario where things just want to get swept under the rug really quick. But the nation's watching. This is kind of hard to sweep things under the rug when the nation's watching and demanding answers. So, yeah, I fully expect a lot more developments to come from this. And, you know, just one thing everybody needs to do is like really like keep the family in your thoughts and prayers. Really, this is tough for them, you know. So as much as we want answers, you know, there's a family right now that's grieving. So I think you all need to say a prayer for the family and the whole community there in Truckee. And you talk about Truckee again, and its Truckee community was amazing.
Christian Rose says, Tyler, wouldn't it be normal to float to the back? They're saying in this particular case, like, it would basically be impossible for her to float to the back hatch. So she is small. There's, you know, 1% likelihood or less than that it could have just happened naturally. But it's basically would have been impossible for her to float from the driver's seat to the back hatch.
It was amazing. You know, you couldn't go anywhere in that entire region and not see a flyer of her on every phone pole.
He's pleading the fifth, folks. So it is.
My
since they said in another I applaud Len, and that's watching and sending people over to join this conversation with Doug, because I know so many people are finding, but this community that's all together, all of us, even on YouTube, it's amazing what they've done. And I applaud, without going down to the conspiracy angles too far, I applaud all the theories that have been out there and the attention. Here's another question from Kara Froman. Annie Elise, that's who it was, from 10 to Life. Thank you for sending Annie. I did see you and I appreciate you. Is, in their experience knowledge, does the area they found the car in seem to insinuate that it was driven in or rolled, since they said in another podcast that it was in neutral, due to how the tires were angled?
So was it driven in or rolled is the question. Was the car driven in or rolled? Now, you listen to his response and you help me figure out what he meant.
Man, I mean, my lack of response, I mean, it just answers it, right? But I there would be a lot of answers that come out, if you, I don't want to get into that, man.
He's pleading the fifth, folks. So it is what it is. There it is. Good question, Kara.
Yeah.
But it wasn't neutral. You did talk about that, so that's, suspect, we can assume, but we don't know yet. Stay tuned is your answer.
So let's talk about the neutral thing. It's all speculation. We can guess all we want. I mean, I listened to a live feed the other day of a master mechanic that described no matter what gear it's in, it's going to roll freely. I don't know myself, but yeah, I thought the vehicle was in neutral. But I guess it's open for interpretation according to, a master mechanic that's been a mechanic for 30 plus years and who has rebuilt hundreds of these transmissions.
It's open for interpretation. Mocha Meadow Ma says, I want to know if the cargo has a cover in place. I don't think it does. But guys, Kim also just got a very good catch about a sticker that was on our window called data.dna. Data.dna is advanced technology that helps you if your car gets stolen. And so it's very advanced data. That's interesting to understand that. I don't know what exactly that means, but there's a whole car kit for it. Data.dna is what it's called. It provides world-leading asset identification, protection, and authentication solutions to combat theft. And there's a sticker of that on her car, which is fascinating to me. Hey, Renee, how are you? Are you there? Hey, Renee. You must be muted. I can't hear you. Renee! Renee! Hey, Michael, how are you?
Hey, Pastor. With everything that Nick was saying, you have to kind of focus in on what's not said to clue in.
That's Doug.
Doug, yeah, because you've got to kind of remember this is still an active criminal investigation. It's been classified as a criminal investigation now. So he is probably under constraint from law enforcement not to reveal certain details, since he was basically an eyewitness down under the water. So law enforcement is probably not wanting to tip their hand, and he can't say much. But when you look at everything, okay, and I'm no detective, but just from what we've seen and the photoshopped images that you cleared up and everything, I have to kind of agree, especially where she was found in the back hatch area. A Honda CRV is probably about 2,300 pounds, give or take. And so when it hits the water, okay, at speed, it's going to fill up quickly, especially with the back hatch window down and a side window down. It's going to fill up quickly, and it is going to turn upside down. Okay. but it would have probably been out further if she had been driving it at speed, which tells me that it was probably rolled into the water, which kind of indicates foul play. And there was tell of a fist fight between her and another girl there. So that's another factor that has to be looked at. You know, maybe that girl had some friends there and maybe they did something to Kiely. And, you know, as kids are, they do things on impulse. And all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, what did we do? Let's get out of here. The cops are going to be here any minute.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a good point. And I think the more we listen to Doug's interview in this, the more that's going to be coming out. And then Kim's working on some images too. She's sending over to me where we can see the seats and stuff like that. So appreciate you calling in, Michael.
Not a problem, Pastor. God bless you. You're doing great work. And to all the haters out there, shut up. Leave my pastor alone.
Thanks, Michael. Have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You know, Meadow, I don't know the answer to that, but I do appreciate your super chat. Donna says he's saying wait for law enforcement's report. Why? He thinks foul play. I think they do think foul play, or they wouldn't have worded it the way that they did, to be honest. I think they think foul play, and 87% of you guys, according to our poll, also think foul play. Donna, thank you for that super chat. Mitch, thank you for your super chat. You said, can you help me understand why the car was back in toward shore if she flipped head over heels? Assume they rolled it side to side before recovery. So let's say, like, here's my tape dispenser. Let's say this is the front of the car and this is the back of the car. Kind of looks like a car. Goes into the water, flips upside down. Now this is the bottom of the car. Flips upside down. They put some things on it so it goes up to the air and then flips over and goes out like that. That's my guess. Like, my guess is they just went, and so the front end of the car stayed at the front end of where it went in at. That's my guess. But I could be wrong. Like, it could have went, but that just, I don't know. I think it makes sense to me. Hey, thank you for your super chat, though, Mitch. Appreciate it. Christy says, love my Feller fam. Thank you to the mods. Christy, I love the Feller fam, too. I'm so grateful for each and every single one of you. And I, too, am grateful for our mods. Thank you for shouting them out. I appreciate them. D's Creations say, maybe she got data.dna if she knew someone was after her or felt unsafe or threatened. It's a great point. Like, I've never even heard of data.dna until today, but I go over to their website and it is basically theft deterrence. So I don't exactly know how it works, but I do find it fascinating. Maybe she did feel threatened. You think if she did, her parents wouldn't let her go to a party with 400 people using drugs, though. Thank you for your super chat. Renee, are you there?
Hey, Tyler.
How's it going?
This is Barry, Renee's boyfriend.
I
Can you
see.
hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to comment on the red thing you found in the back floorboard.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I heard. I was watching last night and heard on one of the other YouTube channels. Debbie Gibb called in and had commented on this, that she was a chronic Debbie Gibb. I think it was probably Debbie Gibb, the entertainer, and she said she was a chronic pot smoker, and that's a roach clip holder that she had, and she was very familiar with that. That's a device to hold a roach, marijuana roach clip, holder. Is
So
what
you
that
think?
was.
So you think that that's what that was?
Yeah, she definitely just recognized it because she had one. Said that was definitely what that was. They also said that she's in that same thing that they were looking at the same video, and they said that they saw a pack of rolling papers, for
Oh, did
rolling.
they?
Yeah, I didn't see that, but I just saw they identified a pack of rolling papers somewhere in that vehicle, but I didn't see that personally. But somewhere they said they saw a pack of rolling papers. I didn't see it identified myself, but I'm just passing along what was said on that other program. But that device that you're looking at, that little red device, is a
Yep.
device designed to hold a roach clip. And Debbie Gibbs said she was a chronic pot smoker, and she recognized that immediately. She's a Canadian, I think, and she recognized that. That's all I had, Tyler. I just wanted to let you know I've been following you for several months and really
Oh.
enjoy your program and appreciate everything you're doing, and really get a lot out of your programming, and appreciate what you're doing and appreciate your message, and thank you for everything that you're doing for everyone.
Oh, well, thanks, Barry, for calling in. Have a great day. I almost called him Renee, but his name's Barry. Amber says the department has a history of corruption. I think it might be a law enforcement officer kid that did it, and that's why the kids aren't talking, and it's gone this way. Somebody was telling the kids not to talk. I'll tell you that much. Could have been a law enforcement kid. Could have been the parents. Media, the fact that the nation is infatuated with this case could have caused it. Thank you for your super chat. You could be right on the money. Mitch says, when hearing the way that cars flip, it sounds like the front end goes down first and the tail ends up in the air. Okay. Yeah, that's a great question that I don't know the answer to. That's a good question they should ask if Adventures with Purpose ever called into this show, because they call into like every other show on the whole internet. If we could somehow get them to call into this show, if you guys would email them and tell them to come on the Tyler Feller Show, please, or Instagram them or whatever it is you have to do. If you guys don't mind doing that, then that would be such a blessing. And then if we are able to do that, then we could ask them questions like that, Mitch. I agree. Like, I want to get down to the bottom of that. I want to get smack dab down to the bottom of that as well.
So that's 100% open for interpretation.
Could you
Well,
talk
there we
a
go.
little bit- Sorry.
Yeah, go, Lewis.
Could you talk a little bit about the Placer Sheriff Department or Placer? I forgot how it's.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
how was
Placer.
it work? Placer, yeah. How was it working with them? Were they a little bit resistant, or were they very welcoming? And in your opinion, I know it's probably a little touchy, but did they do everything they could? Because there's always, people are always going to point at the authorities, the official authorities. What is like? How did that work out overall with your experience with them?
I was in communication with them days before we even arrived, and in deep communication. And I can say that they were extremely inviting, and they just wanted to find Kiely. They didn't care who found her, how she was found. They just wanted her found, and that says a lot about them and the other agencies there that were working. Unfortunately, no matter what, when we come in, especially in a case like this, and we find something in 35 minutes where they've been for 2 weeks and 19,000 man hours and 18 agencies, it's going to cause controversy. There's
Why
a lot
didn't
of
they look there? Why didn't they look first?
And then Ikid calls in to Popcorn Planet show, and this interview is about 2 hours long. A lot of times they're not talking about the Kiely Rodni case, so that's why I would just sit there and go through the interview and talk about certain things if I could, but a lot of it is not talking about Kiely. But Ikid calls in, who's is another YouTuber and asked some questions about the case too. So I wanted to show that. Amy, our super sticker train conductor in the house. Thank you, Amy, and appreciate it. You guys are just so awesome. If you guys want to hop aboard that super sticker train, let's see. We did 5 last time. Can we get 8 super stickers in the next 5 minutes? I'm going to try to 8. Can we do 8 and 5? 8 stickers in the next 5 minutes. That'd just be amazing. Thank you, Amy, for kicking off that train.
Good, Mel. What's up, sir? How are you doing? Look at these beards on my screen.
Thanks for having me on.
So many wonderful
Thanks
beards.
for having me on.
Yeah, dude. I heard
Doug,
you have a question for Doug. It's the floor is yours.
Yeah, I was gonna ask him. I appreciate what you guys do. You guys are amazing, especially to see what you guys did on a current case. I've never seen that before. But and I was gonna ask you about the neutral thing, but you already spoke on that. And so the other thing I just wanted to see if you could maybe get some clarification about the windows, because when I watched the members only video at the time, at first it said like it was busted, but then it said that it was down. Can you clarify? Like, I mean, it was busted after it was pulled out, or what exactly?
I mean, in the video of when we discovered the vehicle upside down, you can clearly see the window was out. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, you know, I don't know if it was down or whether it was busted at the time, but the window wasn't there when we discovered the vehicle. The other window was halfway down, so didn't happen upon pulling it out.
Okay, so
yeah, you also got to understand. You also got to understand that we discovered the vehicle upside down, and when the vehicle broke the surface, it was on its wheels. So, you know, whether the wheels were facing one way or the other, that's just all going to happen during the recovery.
Very interesting. Hey, Deborah, thank you for that super sticker. You're number 2. You're number 2 of our 8 and 5 challenge. Patty's number 3 of our 8 and 5 challenge. Hey, Dr. Lisa Metcalf. I can't wait to send you the Jesus picture. It's in the mail soon. My neighbor who went to art school is helping me do whatever you got to do to protect it. So as soon as that happens, boom, it's headed your way. She says, Tyler, the Placer County is a wealthy area just south of our home. It includes Rockland and Roseville. They enjoy greater financial resources and manpower than most of Northern California. I was wondering that because I spent time in Lake Tahoe. And so this is going to be a little, well, Nevada County and Lake Tahoe are different, right? Truckee's in Nevada County and in Lake Tahoe's in Placer County. I felt like when I've been in Lake Tahoe, it's like those houses, some of them are like $20 million. So you got to have a lot of money to live there. So that's more tax dollars. And there's like, you know, 15 or 16 million people a year that visit Lake Tahoe. So Placer County is getting a percentage of all those tax dollars that come in. So thank you for your super chat. I agree. They have more resources and manpower. Oh, Deborah, number 4. Appreciate it. Annette, number 5. We're rolling, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Stacy's number 6. We're on our 8 and 5 challenge. Thank you, Stacy, for your super sticker. Thank you, Annette, for your super. I just appreciate you guys so much.
Okay. All right. I guess that was kind of it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, Andy.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks for all you're doing. You're doing good work,
Yeah.
Mel. Don't let
I
anybody tell you
appreciate it,
otherwise.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it, dude.
All right, take care.
Good to have you. Well, we have a few more comments. I know you got to keep you too long, but let's see here. There was a couple more from the chat that they have a bunch for you, but let's
look. Tell them. Just tell them right now.
Here we go.
If they're not subscribed to us, tell them to subscribe to us.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody,
we
please, if you haven't already, which we plugged in the beginning, but thank you for reminding me because I'm so invested.
Yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed to Adventures with Purpose, would you go over and make sure you subscribe to them and watch the video that we talked about today and played part of? Dee Dee, thank you for that super sticker. Number 7, appreciate it. Southern Gal Jen, number 8, says, hey, I want to invite everyone to join us on Faith Fridays. They're amazing movie nights of learning, fellowship, and prayer. Praise God. Yeah, on Friday nights, we do have sort of like a worship service here on this channel, and we want to invite you guys to come be a part of that. And I appreciate you for reminding us, Southern Gal Jen, and I thank you for the super sticker. Hey, Pamela, great to see you. Number 9, you said Doug thinks cars roll over mostly Jared explains it as Tyler explained. If it went end over end, it would have been facing the shore. Love the Feller fam. Yeah, I don't have enough experience with that kind of thing, but yeah, I totally can see why that makes sense and was most logical to me, but it's open for interpretation too. Thank you for your super chat too, Pamela, and just stating that. So there's one other little snippet of this interview I wanted to play.
Seeing it around. Is your relation with the mom okay? Because I know you said what the grandparents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is there something you could talk about?
So coming into this, obviously we were in touch with extended family as well as the law enforcement that's working the case. Mom had a media wall as well as a law enforcement wall around her. So we respected that. You also got to take into consideration every family grieves in a different way. Every case is different. Every family is different. And unnecessarily, this is overshadowing her daughter's death. I respect that. I get that. And it's just, this just comes with national headline story. Everybody wants answers. We're still talking about it. Until law enforcement comes out and has those answers, unfortunately, this is going to be, part of the process, and when we work a lot of cases where we'll solve a case in a little city, in a little state, and no one cares. You have very few articles written on it. You have no national attention whatsoever. And unfortunately, this particular case, received attention for, a lot of different reasons. But back to mom, our thoughts and our prayers are with her. And, when the dust settles at the end of the day, our body of work speaks for itself. Our character speaks for itself. We'll continue to help families and that will overshadow everything. And like I said, every case is different. Every family is different.
Was this case a big case in your opinion? Because look, there was never an Amber Alert released, right? So people were debating how big is this case actually compared to the other stuff you've done? How would you compare?
This is one of the biggest cases that we've solved.
Really?
Only because it's new, but we're no stranger to just solving big cases.
Yeah, I do think they solve a lot of big cases. Heidi Joy, thank you so much for that super sticker. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for your support. Michelle wanted to see the dove picture that Amy claimed. Well, first, here's the Jesus picture. This is going to Dr. Lisa Metcalf. It's my first painting I ever did. And I didn't even know what I was going to paint. I just bought these canvases. And then Jesus came out, which I really love that. And then the dove, which this is going to Amy. She has a special meaning for doves. And then Christopher Dix picked up this one. And so now the only painting left is this lion painting. So if you're interested, you can go to tylerfeller.com/store and pick that up. If you guys like the painting of Jesus, you can go to tylerfeller.com/merch. And by the way, right now for 2 more days, everything on the merch store is 15% off. Just click that redeem button. And we have Jesus shirt. We have Always Faithful. We have a smiley face. So we got lots of things over on tylerfeller.com/merch, but everything over there is 15% off right now. So there you guys go. If you're interested in that, feel free to pick those things up.
Seeing it around.
18.
Athena, thank you so much for that super sticker. Appreciate it. I'll show you guys one more time the things that we were sort of showing on Photoshop, because this was, to me, we lost a lot of viewers when I started doing this. I don't know why, but to me, this was the most exciting thing. I wanted to kind of go in and it was let's try to figure out what can we see in these imageries. And so we're able to see an alcohol can, a hairbrush. Hang on, I don't know what this eclipse is doing there. Possibly a hairbrush, alcohol can. Over here, that's the back of a MacBook right there. You can tell very clearly. A MacBook charger, a hoodie, a visor, sun visor of the top of the car. So that to me was like really interesting. Kay says if the car went in with lots of power, water would act as a buffer, stopping the front end. Momentum continues. Car flips, fills unevenly from the open window. Engine pulls down the car and settles the cabin down. Car went in with lots of power. Water would act as a buffer, stopping the front end. Momentum continues. Car flips, fills unevenly from open window. Engine pulls cars down, spins. So so Kay, you're saying the car went in with lots of power then. Okay. Hey, I see that. That makes sense. Wow. Makes a lot of sense, Kay. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for your super chat too. Really appreciate it. Wow, you guys have just been amazing today. This is going to be the end of the stream. I'm going to pray over you don't get off. We do have coffee available. We have vanilla bean coffee and we have chocolate covered cherry. And so I would go, if you're interested, go pick up our coffee. It's very delicious. It's literally the best smelling coffee I've ever smelled in my lifetime. And so we have chocolate covered cherry and we have vanilla bean. And we'll ship those out to you. If you order today, we'll ship them out on Monday because the post office is closed for the day, where I live at least. And tomorrow it's closed, but on Monday we will ship it out first thing. And so would love for you guys to pick that up. Hey, let me pray over you. Father, I thank you for every person that's on the stream today. Would you bless them? I bless them in the mighty name of Jesus. And Father, I pray for anything that's on their heart or their mind that feels anxious or ill-fitting. You'll just send supernatural peace to them. And I bless them in Jesus' name. Amen. Hey, guys, thanks for joining us. We will see you soon. Oh, they're saying it's a holiday on Monday. I'll ship it out on Tuesday because Monday's a holiday. See you guys soon.